Hello.
Hey,
Hi. Look, you look all bundled up. It's like 80
thank
degrees here.
you. Yeah, it's 57 right now here. I'm not
What is
ready.
it? 57?
57.
Wow. What are you guys
Yeah,
doing? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you needed to do this later or if you were okay, but then I got your text. So I was like, okay, cool.
yeah. Andrew's like, it's not that far down. I'm like, it's all right. Just go ahead inside. I'll be there in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to mess you guys up. I appreciate you being flexible. With the kids being out of school, it kind of messed me up. So it's just like, all
I'm
right,
like,
how do I balance
what kind
everything today?
it was good. We went over to the Jaegers for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So you guys aren't there anymore. You just went over for that day and then came back.
No, we're still here. We're still
Oh,
in
okay.
Vegas. We just went
Okay.
over to the Jaegers yesterday.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how'd you do? I'm gonna let you
I
tell
think
me.
I did pretty good. I grabbed a little bit of mashed potatoes, some turkey, a piece of bread, and then she made like a corn casserole, and then that was it. That was what I had, and then I had a piece of pumpkin pie.
Hmm.
So yeah, I didn't go back for seconds or third or anything. I was actually pretty full.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah,
what I was gonna ask you. Like, were you full? Okay. Good.
yeah, it was good. Like if I was hungry, I would have probably grabbed a little more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And just remember that the protein is what fills you up too. So and then the fiber.
yeah,
So protein and fiber are those two things that keep you full.
yeah, I did grab a good chunk of turkey too, just because I was thinking that also. I'm like, oh, I'll fill up, and it was really good too. So I
Yeah.
didn't mind having extra of that.
Nice. Nice. So you
Yeah,
guys
it
are
was
still there. So when are you planning on going back?
Sunday morning we leave out of here. But I grabbed
Oh,
my
okay.
chicken already, so I have stuff to make
Okay.
food.
Oh, I love it. Kenya.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I'm like, oh shoot, I have to grocery shop, and it's like, oh wait, you already have food, so I'll
That's
go ahead.
that's why I was asking you. So you're already a step ahead. So now look at you. Look how much you've progressed just in what this last few weeks. Like you just got so super mindful of everything. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I was like, I really want to make this work. I really want to lose weight. I really want to reach my goals. I really need to start stepping it up. I have it in me. I have a coach. I have the tools. I just need to utilize it all. So I need to
Gotta
like,
use it. Yes.
yeah,
That's why I
put up
tell
my
people,
butt.
I'm like, I can tell you, I can give you everything in the world that I've ever used in my whole life that has gotten me anywhere. But if you don't use it, what's the point? It's kind of pointless at that. So, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you because that is something. I mean, when you go out of town, sometimes you're not thinking, especially when you got kids, you're not thinking about all the things like, oh, if I'm not gonna come back until Sunday, let
Hmm.
me go grocery shopping now. But that's a lot of people don't even think like that. So the fact that you did and you went ahead and got it out the way. So now, yeah, all you got to do is just prep a few things and then
Yep.
you'll be good for next week. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was like, I'll just keep it simple. I have my cauliflower rice. I got my chicken. I have some broccoli. Just make something with that.
Yeah, awesome. I'm proud of
Yep.
you.
Thank
Aww. And you
you.
got your tracking in. So
Yeah, I
you met
need
your
to.
goal.
Yep. I know I was like, I haven't really been tracking these last couple of days. I just been
Yeah,
so tired.
yeah. And that's
That's that.
understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. And that's why I was saying, like, for the holidays, it's not necessarily about stressing over, oh my gosh, I got to track my foods. I told you I challenged you, right? So that way you could kind of be mindful of it. But it sounds like you were already really mindful. So that's all that matters. And,
Yeah.
and then just kind of making sure that you're just consistent at this point. So, for you, since you have this specific goal, it is going to be important for you to track your foods more. But I actually just got finished telling somebody that earlier because it was someone else that I worked with a while back, and she was saying she wasn't really tracking that much, but she's staying where she wants to stay, and that's what I told her. I said, well, yeah, because I'm maintaining right now, like I'm just trying to maintain. So as long as I kind of am mindful of what I'm taking in and stuff like that, and make sure what I eat after my workout is really good and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much staying where I need to stay. And that's the thing. So I told her, I was like, if your goals change or if you decide, to lose more weight or something like that, that's when you have to be tracking. because
Yeah.
otherwise you're guessing. You're just going back to guessing. And we all know where that gets us. Nowhere.
Yeah. You try to guess in your favor too. I know I used to do that quite a bit. Be like, oh, this looks close enough to half a cup when I know it's probably way more.
Right. Yeah. So I'm really glad that you're getting everything done. So now next week is just staying consistent again. All right.
Yeah.
So now I would definitely challenge you to try to do 5 days.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then we'll just keep it at that. We'll just keep it at 5 days because honestly, and you can pick the days. Like if we talked about this before on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that maybe Saturday is a day that you kind of digress, then maybe that needs to be one of your days that you track because that way it's going to keep you on point on
Yeah.
Saturdays until it becomes a habit. Once all this becomes a habit, you're not going to have to worry about it as much. But by then, you're going to be where you want to be too. So, I mean, until you get
Cool.
there, this is when it really matters. So, but you're on your way. And so that's the awesome part. And I love being on this side of it because we've been doing this for so long. So this is going to be enjoyable for me to watch because you're already doing everything that you need to do. So now, like I said, it's just about consistency at this point. You just got to
Yeah.
keep it up.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. I think it's been nice having that control and knowing like I am in control of what I put in my body and it doesn't have to be a painful process. It could be enjoyable. I've been enjoying making my meals and looking at the recipes and stuff and knowing that it's good stuff going into my body. That tastes good.
Yeah. I know the fact that it can be good for your body and taste good, it's pretty cool, like because
I
people think that you just have to go on this huge restrictive diet, and I'm like,
only
no,
lettuce.
yeah, like, I mean, salads are great to have, but that's not all you have to live off of. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice knowing that I can make good food and that I made it and that it tastes good and it's healthy. Like that makes me really proud of myself.
yeah, yeah, and that's good too. That's a good feeling. So now you're feeling better
Mhm.
about yourself because you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing,
Yep.
and so that becomes more of kind of that positive mentality where now you want to keep going,
Mhm.
and that's one of the things I tell people too. When you dive in and you go too hard too fast, that's why people end up quitting. It's just too much and it's not sustainable. But if you slowly implement things, it becomes more sustainable.
I agree 100%. I think this has helped a lot more than just I have to, cut all this stuff out. I have to stop eating bread and all these carbs and I have to only do sweet potatoes. Like it's been nice that I can do like pasta and do it in a healthy way and, incorporate the things that I like to eat
Hmm.
and know when to stop because that was my biggest challenge too was I like to like eat because it was like that fear of missing out like oh I won't get a chance to eat this again. So like yesterday was a good thing where I'm like, all right, you're good, you're full. You don't need to continue to eat because you're afraid that, oh, you're not gonna have that pumpkin pie again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm super proud of you. So what do we need to do for this following week? So you already got your groceries.
Yep.
All right. So now all you got to do is get the prepping part in. So just make sure if you have any issues or if something comes up, just reach out to me and I'll throw some tips your way. Um,
I'm meeting the protein goal.
yeah. So I don't know if you saw, I posted something on Instagram because I was actually cooking eggs for the kids yesterday. And I said, egg whites. I had like a carton of egg whites. So what I do is like in my eggs and for Jazzy's eggs, like for her, she likes 2 eggs and she needs the healthy fats anyway. So I just go ahead and put 2 in
Mhm.
there. But what I do is I'll put it in a measuring cup and then I'll fill it up to the 1 cup mark. The rest of it, I'll
Mhm.
pour egg whites. So now I'm getting that extra
Mhm.
protein in for her because, for these kids, that's even more
Yeah.
important because they're growing, their brains need it, So I just do whatever I can. It's so funny too because here, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about what happened last night. So we were we were cooking. Tori had bought a pack of sugar cookies for them to cook or whatever. So the pack had on it that you mix the egg, and that was it. It was like mix the batter, mix the egg,
Mhm.
and some butter or whatever. And so I was like, okay, that's weird, because usually you put like milk or water or something in it. But I did what the pack said, and the kids were in there, and we were just like mixing it, and I was like, this is really dry. And so I was like, I'm just gonna put like some milk in it, because we have the almond milk. So I was like, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
put some milk in it. So I poured, I think it was like just a half a cup. It was like a half a cup of almond milk, but then it was too, it was
Runny.
a little milky, yeah. So I went to my handy dandy cabinet with my protein in it, and I pulled out, I pulled out the vegan protein, and and the ignition from First Form, that's like the simple carb, so it actually tastes really good, because it's basically a healthy sugar. I think I told you about that
Mm-hmm.
before. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
actually use that with the cooking now, especially for the kids. And so I grabbed some of that, I grabbed some of the ignition, and I like mixed it all up, and the kids were just like super laughing at me, like they started calling me the protein queen.
Miss Jody with
Because
the
my fix
protein.
for everything is just add some protein. Like,
I mean, if it helped and they tasted good.
and so, but it also makes me feel good as a mom, right? Because now I'm like, oh, well, now they're eating these sugar cookies that were supposed to just be like these empty calories, but now they got
Yeah.
protein in them. So,
It's a win-win, guys. This was my plan all along.
and Tori just shakes his head. But that's what I do. It's really, you just have to make it fun. And
I
I
agree.
do love to have those little things on hand. I do love to have some protein on hand for times like that. Like if I'm baking something and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna add some protein because now I feel better about it. I know I'm getting my protein in. So
Yeah.
now I can eat the cookie and not feel bad at all because I'm getting protein too.
I mean, yeah.
So
I mean, you
yeah,
almost.
it's just it's really just being mindful of those little things, and like I said, even if it's just something simple as adding egg whites into your eggs, or adding protein into a baking recipe.
Yeah, I'm
you know
fine.
it's Yeah, it's just easy ways to get things in. And usually in a meal, I'll usually measure out whatever the protein source is. I'll measure out like 4 to 5 ounces, just depending on how much I need. um, and so that's always kind of a rule of thumb. I always tell people like 4 ounces should be, especially for like breakfast and lunch, like 4 ounces of protein is usually really good. So then
Yeah.
you can kind of just taper off the rest of the day.
Yep. Well, I'm about to meet my challenge because we're gonna go grab lunch right now.
Yeah. Well, just remember, it's not a diet. Does the place you're going to, do they have like an online menu you can look at?
It should. It's Famous Dave's. It's like a chain. So
Okay.
usually chains have something on my Fitness Pal. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of doing too, like seeing what all's on the menu.
And I've been saying that since Japan, right? It's like, just look before you go, see what you can find. And not everything is on there, but even you can usually go like even just online and Google it, and at least their menu will come up, so that way you can kind of already
Mhm.
know what you want to
What
eat.
all they have.
Yeah. And don't
So.
forget the glass of water, that'll help.
Oh yeah, that's all I've been drinking. I've been so thirsty.
Yeah. Just drink that glass of water before your meal, and then, let that settle, and then you probably won't be as hungry as you thought you were.
Yeah. I know, because I'm starving right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All
Well, I
right.
know they've been inside for a bit. Yeah, I don't want to keep them waiting too long.
All right, yeah, no problem. Just reach out to me if you have any questions, if you need help getting through the weekend, or when you start prepping and stuff like that. Just let me know if you have anything. But I'm
Will
really
do.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then just pick out your days for next week, so that way you have that commitment in there, and I'll keep an eye out for it. And then we'll stick with the same time, the regular time. We'll be back on that next Friday.
Yeah.
So, and thanks
Sounds
again
good.
for being
Thank
flexible. I
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Just vacationing. Well, at least for me.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm at home, but well, the kids are vacationing, so that affects me. So
I'm like, well, for us, I'm like, we're on like basically a vacation. We don't really have anything fixed.
yeah,
So
that's
that
awesome.
is no issue for me to be flexible.
Yep, yep. And see why this is not why a meal plan is not always great.
I know.
I got to keep throwing that in there.
Yes, and I appreciate it now.
Yeah. All right, girly. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun, and just let me know if you need
Yeah.
anything before next week. Okay.
Will do. Enjoy yourselves too.
All right, we will. Tell everybody to say hey.
All right.
All right,
Bye.
bye.